Yo, what's up guys, I'm back, got a video for you. This time we have this 87 rated Insigne card. Now it came out as an SBC, I think it was on Thursday or Friday, I think it was, but I only do reviews during the week, so this is why it comes out a bit late. On stats sensor, he's 5'4", got the high medium work rate, he's got the right foot with the 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. His preferred positions, he can play left mid, centre forward and left wing, so not really too much of change, but he can still play a central role if you need him to. I decided to go with the finished chem style. I'll see more about that after on the positive negative side of things, about why I decided to boost some of the stats that I did. But on stats then, so he's got 90 pace, 85 shooting, 87 passing, 86 dribbling and 51 physical. So on paper it looks like a very good well-rounded card. I decided to play him, I think it was in a 4-4-2 alongside, I think it was a Kocha mainly. He also did go wide a few games, but it was mainly in a strike formation in a 4-4-2. As you can see, he's got the outside of the foot shot trait, finesse shot trait, and also the flare trait this year. But if you do enjoy the review, please do subscribe and like the video. It does help the channel out a lot. And I'll see you after the positives and negatives. Peace. So once my overall thoughts about the card then. Now, if I'm completely honest, the start of this card, I really didn't enjoy this card. I thought it was a little bit weak to be honest, and especially as the height, and as well he didn't have the best of composure, and agility didn't really feel amazing. But as I got to grips with this card, I felt a bit more of the agility side of things, got to grips with what is good and bad at. But we'll go through it then. So first for me is the 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Now obviously that's a necessity this year. The 4-star weak foot, not really that much of a necessity. You can have a 3-star and still get away with it, but it's always nice to have that 4-star weak foot. The skills for me, I didn't really use too much. I used 5-star skills mainly, but it is still there, so you're still doing McGeedy's and stuff like that just to get you out of hard positions necessarily. Now, the pace split is what I want. I don't want a high sprint speed and low acceleration. I just don't feel that's a really good combo. Except for on centre backs really, but other than that, on attackers you really want that fast acceleration to try and get him away as fast as possible, and he does have that, and he does look like a little bit of a rocket at the start, but obviously he will get caught up to it a little bit at times. Now, the shooting for me, generally speaking, quite good, a little bit inconsistent here and there, mainly because of that low composure and low finishing stat, but overall not too bad. And if you can get him on 3 chemistry with a finisher, he goes up massively, but purely because of his league and nation, it's not really going to be too easy to do that. But the attack position is really good. Actually, the long shots are really good about this card. You can slap him with the Trivellas really well. Now, the passing for me, if you want to play him cam, you can do, because his passing attributes all around the board really good, to be fair. This is why he got so many assists for me over goals. Like, all those passing attributes are really good, especially that curve, especially that vision. But even the stamina's not bad in itself. Now, this is what I told about at the start. So the agility, because he's 5'4", he needs to be a little bit more agile, to be honest. This is why I put the finished chem style, because I need to be boosted a little bit more. Because obviously being small, you're not going to have the strength at all, so you do need to be twisting and turning like Messi is. But he didn't really feel it at the start. He was getting done up by like quite good opponents, so I slapped the finisher on him, and he started to perform nicely. The balance for me is a bit ineffective, because he's got 40 strength to 5'4". The reactions, it's a little bit low, to be honest. I didn't really notice it too badly, but you will notice it at times. I think it's like reacting to the ball, reacting to dribbling, all that kind of stuff. And as I've already talked about, composure is quite low. The dribbling stat with the +3 with the finisher on the 1 chemistry style goes up to 90. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. Now the ball shot, obviously he's 5'4", he's not really going to be having too much issues with that, because normally the taller players are one of the clunkier ones with the touches and all that kind of stuff. Now, this is where the card lies in its issues. So, the air ability is useless on this card, the strength is useless, the aggression is useless. Like, all of those stats are really useless, but the main fundamental one is his stamina, and it actually does have quite good stamina, to be fair, so that is a redeeming factor on the physicals. But that's all for my overall thoughts. Now, let's get to overall scores. So, on to my overall scores then. Now, we'll kick off straight away with the pace. Now, the pace for me, I am going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, don't get me wrong, he still feels quite fast in game, but he's not really the fastest, so if you want to put pace caps on, you probably could, but I would probably recommend a finisher instead. So 8.5 out of 10, I think is a fair score for it. Now, next for me is the shooting. Now, the shooting for me overall, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. It's a little bit inconsistent with that composure and the finishing, but overall, I did feel I was really good at times, and he would hit the top corner. Now, the passing for me, if you're playing striker, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The passing is perfectly good enough for like all attributes here, except for the crossing, but if you're playing striker, you're not really going to be crossing too much, obviously going to be narrow. But if you're playing cam, I'd probably give it more like an 8 out of 10, but overall for the start of the game, it's phenomenal passing. Now, the dribbling for me, I was a little bit disappointed with this, to be honest. He doesn't really feel like too agile of a card, even though he is, because he's 5'4". So overall for that, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I just feel like I wish he felt like a bit more nimble and swift on the ball, even though he wasn't like, he's not unagile, don't get me wrong, but for 5'4", you do expect a little bit more, and especially like composure as well. Now, the air ability, useless, as I talked about, strength and aggression, both really bad attribute on this card, but the stamina's not bad, so it's very hard to rank this attribute. So overall for that, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, because the stamina is still really good, and you can't really knock it out any lower than that, but the rest of the attributes really do let this card down when he's in 50-50s and stuff like that. So on overall score then, I'm going to give this card, now value, I'm going to do value for coins in a minute, sorry, but value for coins, this card is so good. Obviously the links are going to be a little bit hard, so he's mainly going to be a bench player for you, but my overall score then, I'm giving it an 8.7 out of 10. It's very good card for the start of the game, and value for coins, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I especially think this card is a very good value for coin SBC. It's just unfortunate that links, but if you have like a Donnarumma or something like that, there's an instant 1 chemistry, so that is really nice. But that's all for my view as always. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe. It genuinely does help the channel out a lot. But I've got nothing more to say, so in the next video, and peace out guys.